They say defense wins championships. I don't know if I fully believe that statement, but it certainly helps. Avs win over the Toronto Maple Leafs 2-1 in the shootout.
Colorado has won the Stanley Cup.
As far as goal scoring ability, Toronto has one of the top 10 offenses in the league, and the Avs absolutely put on a defensive clinic in this game. Holding them to just 18 shots on goal is elite level stuff. And it's not just the quality defense up front, it's when the Avs make mistakes, they make the correct plays to recover them. Well over 60 minutes of just quality from Colorado, particularly through the neutral zone. They were just really good. Unfortunately, those 60 minutes do include overtime. They do make a mistake early, and it's the one that costs them. Toronto trying to get out on the rush here, they don't really succeed in that. The Avs are back well. They're playing good defense. You even have Mikko on the back check, so it's a 3-on-3 at absolute worst. You're fine through this stretch. But then you have this weird little handoff where Mikko's going to take the puck carrier, leaving Byram and MacKinnon to figure out who's taking this man down the wing with Marner. And they kind of just both take him. MacKinnon honestly just shifts into glide mode. Doesn't really do what he's supposed to be doing here, at least communicating with Bo what's going on. Because of that, the fifth man coming in Morgan Rielly is initially undefended. And now you get issues on top of issues. With MacKinnon simply floating around the net, covering essentially nothing here, you have Erod out high, who turns around, and he expects MacKinnon to be here, right? He's expecting another forward to help support, but he turns around and sees that he's not there. So now he knows he's not there, and he just kind of points. He doesn't move his feet. He just says, hey, someone go get that guy. No, at this point, it's not your fault, Erod, but the job is now on you to track down Rielly and at least put some pressure on this guy. And he just does not do that, giving Rielly all the time in the world to walk in, pick a spot, and score. We've seen it be a continued issue for Colorado in the defensive zone. Their top line continues to give up some stuff you would like better out of them from. I think this one is more MacKinnon's fault than it is Erod's, and MacKinnon has been doing a bit too much of that lately. But on a bigger scale picture, I do not think Erod has fit well onto this top line. The scoring consistency isn't there. It's been a rough little bit for him, particularly this game was extremely tough. Poor defensive play, multiple penalties, and more importantly than all of that, the inability to finish the quality chances that the rest of that line is providing him. He just needs to be better than that. Let's leave it there. So that was Toronto's one goal. The Avs' one goal of not the shootout also comes in the first period. They do the hard work to get a power play opportunity, and they're able to convert it. Toronto playing a pretty active penalty kill here when it comes to moving towards the puck, and while these initial opportunities don't work very well for Colorado, it gets them moving. It gets them caught on one side of the ice or the other, in this case opening up space for Mikko. Now, when this puck comes over to Mikko, if this doesn't go in the net, you're probably saying Mikko tried to get a little bit too cute with this one. But you can see the understanding here. The play is to hit Val Nichushkin on the back door, and if it gets through, it's a certain goal. It doesn't get through, though. It gets blocked. It just gets blocked directly into the Leafs' net. Anecdotally, I feel like I haven't gotten to say you take those very much for Colorado this year. It feels like they have not scored that many lucky goals. This one was one of them, and you know what? I think they deserved it. They've been playing far too well of late to not be getting more bounces like that. And that was all of the scoring in this hockey game. The rest of it was without a goal. That isn't to say there wasn't good hockey being played by both sides, if I'm being honest, but I think the Avs were significantly better. They certainly controlled the play significantly better. The Avs outshot, out-attempted, out-chanced Toronto in every conceivable way. They also played excellent defense in every situation. 5-on-5, 4-on-4, penalty kill, you name it. It looked great. The one area you want improvement, and stop me if you've heard this before, especially this season, is they need to finish. They need to be able to win games like this in regulation. They played well enough to win in regulation in every single area but putting the puck in the back of the net. And if the pucks were going in a little bit better for them, this game probably looks closer to the Montreal game than what it ended up being. So while you don't like that that lack of finishing in this game, you do really like the rest of their play, keeping themselves in the game, keeping themselves in control of the game, and ultimately able to get themselves across the finish line, unlike against other good teams like we've seen in the past this year. We've seen the good process from Colorado starting to build a good bit over the last handful of games, and now we're starting to see those results turn the correct direction. So you get through all of regulation, you get into overtime, and overtime felt like more of the same. The Avs control the majority of the play. It's not perfect, but they are in possession for the vast majority of the overtime. They give up 0 shots on goal, and while they're not able to generate the finishing play, when they do slip up, when they do turn a puck over, they're right there to make the next play, to get it back on track for themselves. This eventually gets into the shootout, and honestly, this is where Alexander Georgiev really shines. He stops all 3 shooters. Those shooters are Willie Nylander, Austin Matthews, and Mitch Marner. 3 pretty talented offensive guys. And it just doesn't take much. In a game with 2 good teams, both of which played pretty decently defensively, even a little sliver is all you need. And that's exactly what Nathan MacKinnon gets. Part of the reason I hate shootouts is because there's just nothing to break down here. MacKinnon walks in, MacKinnon picks his spot. He does a little bit of a shimmy shake there, but his plan was always to pull this back and try and shoot it up under the glove and arm. He does that to a T. Literally slips it into a hole that doesn't seem to exist, and it gets by Samsonov. This really felt like the Avs coming into Toronto and just taking care of their business, being the better hockey team and ultimately being rewarded for it. Awesome to watch and a genuine very good game, especially for a low-scoring one. These were just 2 teams that the play could change at any moment. In one play, either side has the talent to make the difference, and the Avs just continued to push through and be the one that gets it done. Short and sweet for this one because there just wasn't a ton of goals. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. Head on over to thednvr.com for all of our coverage. I am Rudo, and you know what? I kind of like the dead puck era.